Hello friends, it's Yoink. We will be starting this next matchup shortly, so everybody get your sodas, get your popcorn, get your hot dogs, because we have got two amazing players coming up in this next show right here on Sunday Night Fights. NTD, let's take it away. Hello friends, and welcome back to Season 2 of Sunday Night Fights. My name is Yoink. Thanks for joining us. We are shoutcasting all night tonight. Tournament 19, sponsored exclusively on GameReplays.org. We have seen some amazing players tonight. We've seen Dr. Horse go down in flames. We saw Aimstrong defend himself in a best-of-3 match versus Cott. And now, coming to you almost live as Relic could possibly make this game be, we have got a matchup between two exciting players, legends I would say, in this game coming up right now on Sunday Night Fights. But first, let me introduce my esteemed co-host. His name is Mr. BioSparks. Bio, say hello.
Hey everyone, how's it going? It's really nice to be here. This much anticipated event, finally after the patch that we finally got after so long of what seemed as an eternity of frustration, and you know, we've got a game now between two people whose reputations just speak for themselves, so I just can't wait to get this underway.
Yeah, Bio, you know what? I think that we are going to see a matchup of two amazing talents right here. And you yourself played in this tournament. Do you have any experiences you want to share with us so far? I mean, I know you didn't get as far as these guys did, but I know you gave a valiant effort. Any thoughts on your own play so far?
Getting to third round with 10 FPS means I should get the money.
Indeed, if there was an award for most effort given with a bad computer, I think you might be able to have won that award.
Yeah, totally. But on a serious note, yeah, I mean, Dr. Horse beat me fair and square, like regardless of my disadvantage. You know, it was the Vermont game was terrible on my part. I GG'd in like 3 minutes, but yeah, I did 4 ES against him, and it worked pretty well until I screwed up. But yeah. Either way, I think next time I'm going to put like a much better effort in, and hopefully I can probably be playing instead of casting. So, but still, casting is still great fun.
Yeah, we're really happy to have you. I know that you are going to contribute to some excellent strategy concepts here, because there's going to be a lot to talk about when these two players go head-to-head here on the fields of Langris. So let's talk about what we're going to be seeing here. We have got Sepha playing the Panzer Elite in the south of Langris, where in the north we will be seeing Seb playing under the name EpsilonSeb, using Americans to try and cap those VPs from the north. So, all the games that we've seen tonight have been semifinal games, except for one that was a quarterfinals, but this semifinal game will be on Langris. We talked a little bit about the map changes in the north. Maybe you can tell me, do you know of any map changes in the south of Langris? I'm not sure if there are any.
The only one I can really see is where this plus 16 munitions is, that car is just heavy cover, where it used to be like just a bunch of light cover boxes and stuff. So that's really like the only significant change I can see on the south side.
Okay, fair enough. Either way, this map is very balanced and a favorite from a lot of players. So without any further ado, if you're ready, I would like to get started. What do you say, Bio?
Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
All right, NTD, our cameraman, he will be the one showing you this amazing game tonight. It looks like he is ready as well. We have covered up the timer, so no one will know how long this game lasts, and also we are using our fancy schmancy overlay that was built expressly for Sunday Night Fights. And I am paused at 5 seconds into this game, so if we are all ready, we will start this countdown from the 5-second mark in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start. We are at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, I am watching Seph's PE in the south. Bio, how do you feel about doing it, watching the action in the north?
Engineers reporting as ordered.
Yeah, I'm already watching Seb, and it looks like, oh my gosh, it's either Marina's 4ES or my Biosparks build.
Wait, are you telling me right now that Seb is not building any sort of units in his base right now?
He's doing 4ES of some kind.
Alright, this is pretty exciting then. We have a standard Panzer Grenadier start in the south for Seph. He is building his second Panzer Grenadier squad. It's walking out right now. Of course, his Kenrad has moved all the way to the north to cap that fuel. That's going to be important for Panzer Elite because they need fuel for upgrades. They can move fast and furious if they have enough fuel. Sepha, of course, has been around for a very long time, just as Seb has, and personally one of my favorite things that Seph used to do that is just a great strategy when he played Wehrmacht is to do the 2 Volks, 1 sniper start and run that around. He's a great micro specialist. So is Seb. So I think we're going to see a lot of good micro from both of these players because, as Ami had said in the last couple of games, Panzer Elite versus US is so fast in the first 10 minutes because they're so mobile. And now we're seeing our first combat here in the north. We've got a grouped up Panzer Grenadier platoon engaging these engineers as they run away at long range. Their retreat path is cut off. Not sure what Seb is going to be able to do here. He's going to try and run around this hedgerow, but unless he thinks of something, they're going to have to retreat right through withering fire of Panzer Grenadiers. Well, he was able to do it in such a way to split up that army so that the retreating engineers were able to get by with a minimum amount of damage. Looks like they just are going to escape with their lives. What's going on with the rest of the field here, Bio?
Well, I'm happy to say it is the Biosparks build. He went 4ES racks, so I can critique with no discretion. Just if he does anything wrong, I'll be like, yeah, that's bad, that's good, because I'm the expert at this strat.
Well, this is very good. Let's do a quick time sync here early on. I'm at 2, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I hope we're all still synced up. Now we're getting some more action here at this critical strat point right here. It's not going to benefit Seph so much to take it because he has nothing to the right, but he still wants to take it either way. It's a fast cap for Panzer Grenadiers. You don't have to worry about them sitting on that point too long. And now he's going to push down south towards these engineers. Again, we're going to see a same kind of a matchup here. G43 Panzer Grenadiers versus engineers, and they retreat off the field. I wonder what Seph is thinking right now. Do you think he expects a 4ES strategy right now, or do you think he's still waiting to see Riflemen?
Honestly, I think I don't think he's spotted the rifles just yet. I mean, obviously now they're capping, but I think maybe he was thinking of maybe original 4ES, and with the rifles, basically the main aim against Panzer Elite is, since you can be in many places at once, whereas obviously the Panzer Grenadiers usually clumped up together on one side of the map, you can have a quick flamer or two backed up with a few pieces of rifle support. And the good thing to note is that if you're playing Panzer Elite and you go against this strategy, always go infantry half tracks, because it's actually the hard counter, and I think Seph has just made an infantry half track as well, so it's going to be pretty hard.
Well, he is properly following. He's made 1 infantry half-track and a second one on the way. Now, he was just cut off from his resources, and that hurt him a little bit, but nothing that he couldn't handle. He's now capping back that important strategic point. He's losing the fuel in the north, but that's okay because he's got some fuel in the south as well, and he's doing okay. He's got 30 in the bank with plus 21 income. Now, here we go. We've got this infantry half-track attacking these rifles right behind this hay bale. This is proper use of the strategy here, keeping your Panzer Grenadiers up close to that infantry half-track. You can reinforce them as needed. And now here, just to the south, though, of this combat, we've got some understrength Panzer Grenadiers that are getting their life just sucked out of them by this engineer squad. These brand new engineer squads that don't get suppressed. Are they going to be able to do any sort of action? No, it looks like Seb has to retreat them without too much damage done to those Panzer Grenadiers. Now, further pushing in the north, though, back up to the north, we can see here that this infantry half-track is doing its job supporting these Panzer Grenadiers and decapping that critical strat point that Seb needs to keep things connected. However, I don't see that his territory is flashing. Why is his territory not flashing on the right? Because Seb has also capped the middle strat point. That middle strat point is allowing him to stay connected, even though the one outside of his base is unconnected. That's a pretty good strategy right there. He's keeping map control.
Yeah, that's the one problem with 4ES racks, is that you, especially with North 1 Grey, I don't tend to do it against Panzer Elite because they normally go for your cutoff straight away, and it's quite hard to keep control of the middle and the munitions point to keep everything on the right connected. But if you can pull it off, then fair play.
Yeah, looks like now we're getting a little bit of a retreat action here by the... oh no, I'm sorry, they're not retreating, they're actually just advancing in the opposite direction. Now we have Flamers engaged in combat along with these rifle squads trying to take down these infantry half-tracks. God, not doing any damage whatsoever, really. Infantry half-tracks doing a little bit more damage to units in cover, but now actually we do have infantry half-track number 1 has got a sort of soft retreat off the field here, but infantry half-track number 2 now pushing directly into that ball of American infantry and suppressing the rifles, and now they have to retreat. However, now we're seeing our first weapon support center units coming into play. Armor-piercing rounds are going to do terrible damage to infantry half-tracks. You better keep them at range. Boy, look at the suppression. The cone of suppression really just suppressed everybody right there. Those Panzer Grenadiers are on the floor, and that infantry half-track just barely escaped with its life.
Yeah, like, I feel like machine guns are quite underused and underrated against Panzer Grenadiers because they actually do a lot of damage and suppress them almost instantly, like an MG42, unlike against the Wehrmacht, because of the, I think it's the soldier armor suppression modifiers that the Panzer Grenadiers have. So definitely against half-tracks as well, you know, like the armor-piercing round can do so much damage, and I just like the style of support play that he's doing.
Yeah, this is something that you don't see too much, I think, is both racks and weapon support center actions against PE. It provides for a balanced army, but you have to be really knowledgeable about your micro and know what you're doing, because PE can run around these machine gun units pretty easily. And now it looks like Sepha has partially repaired that first half-track that was damaged so badly. And he's not going to... now he is engaging it all the way to try and repair it all the way back. Map control is pretty much even. And now we have another big fuel expenditure by Sepha. He's put a mortar half-track on the field. Boy, is that risky, considering that it looks like Seb has now got a motor pool up. I don't see a whole lot of anti-tank abilities on Sepha's side, except for choosing tank hunters. He is now placing his first teller mine right by that key hedgerow right in the center, south of that main victory point. So it looks like he's going to go with a anti-tank infantry based on call-ins, perhaps the Hetzer and teller mines. What do you think, Kyle?
I think at some point Shreks as well will be really good, because a quad has just hit the field, and everyone knows with the Shrek accuracy against M8s and just armor in general, infantry half-tracks packed with Shreks are actually pretty damn dangerous against all types of armor.
Yeah, Shreks did get a little bit of a buff in this last patch. They are very good against light armor. Still not enough to stand up to heavy armor, but pretty good against light armor, especially M8 class vehicles, like, for instance, the M8 and also the Staghound. However, now we have an upgraded quad on the field. That is going to provide a lot of support to infantry. It looks like Seb is doing a very heavy infantry-based strategy, both with MGs and rifles, and a medic station that is up. So looks like he is making a lot of investments in putting infantry on the field to combat this Panzer Grenadier army.
They're going after a fuel point.
And here we see that Shrek power against that quad. One hit takes it down to about 75% health. Not enough to drive it off the field, but certainly enough to give it a little bit of a pause there. Map control still about even, as Sepha is trying to cap back his fuel right now.
Yeah, I think with the quad, because there's such good suppression rates as well, you need to like just use your infantry half-tracks as a sort of tank hunting machine and just drive right up to that quad, because at the moment there aren't any AT guns that can counter it, so it will be a really good chance to deal with it right here, right now.
Oh, look at the power of those 450 caliber machine guns. Just took out a German half-track. Down it goes. And looks like those rifles are going to be able to take that fuel in the north, and some rifles are doing some munitions stealing in the south, but that mortar half-track spotted them, and they have to kind of do a soft retreat around the hedgerow there. Back up to the north, we're seeing a big combat right by that medic station. All these flamers, and now the quad coming back. Oh boy, the balance of combat is now in the Americans' favor, and Sepha has to retreat off the field, and boy, that infantry half-track is just going to escape with its life, and it's going to take some damage from the MG as it retreats. And unfortunately, fans of Sunday Night Fights, we have some very bad news. This game unfortunately had a crash and drop by Sepha. He was very gracious and he told Seb that he would give him the game, but we wanted to show it to you anyway because it is a semifinal game, and it is important for you to know that game one did end in a crash, and I believe, if I'm not correct, Sepha did give the win to Seb. Is that right, Bio?
Yeah, he just said, yeah, you can just take the win. Very good sportsmanship as expected from someone like Sepha. You know, he's very, like, he's probably the most well-mannered person I've ever seen in I actually don't think I've ever seen him rage ever. Like, that's just how well-mannered he is.
No, and you know what? His sportsmanship extends to other games too. I've played Left 4 Dead with him, and he is also very, very sportsmanlike in everything that he does. So, you know, I gotta say, he absolutely, in my opinion, could have probably said they wanted a rematch because map control was even. Nobody really lost any substantial units except for that one infantry half-track, which happens sometimes. It's a fragile unit, so really, I'd call this game 50-50. I wouldn't know how to call it if you wanted to end it right here. But there are more games to be played, so unless you have any other final thoughts about this game before we move on, Bio?
I'm just disappointed we didn't get to see it, like, run through to the end, because, you know, we never saw, like, the Tier 3 was just about to go up, so we may have seen maybe some Shrek Marder play, Shrek AC play, maybe, and, yeah, it's just disappointing, I guess, but, you know, that's just the way, games are, you know, like, sometimes an athlete sprains his ankle just like an internet connection can go out, so that's just the way it goes.
Indeed, indeed. But the great news is that the action is not over. That's right, Sunday Night Fight fans, we have more games coming up, including the conclusion of this fantastic semifinal matchup between these two legends, Sepha and Seb. So please stay tuned. We are going to be back shortly with more great casts, more great games. So right here on Justin.tv, sponsored by GameReplays.org. We will see you soon. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back.